at hand sometimes. And let me tell you about the auditory experience we had, because that was the experience we had, was the auditory experience today. But anyways, that was fantastic to hear. And we were talking up here. The NSF team, they rolls out and does all of these different things. We've got people all over. We've got cameras all over. So I'm sitting here, and on the one hand, I'm a little bummed I didn't see it. I'm excited that I got to hear it because it sounded really amazing. But we had fantastic views because there were so many cameras and so much work that went into it. So I'm torn. I'm a little bummed. Right? But I'm also excited because we had a fantastic launch, and it's still going right now. Like Starship is still on its way, isn't it?
It sure is.
Yeah.
We are about, about 7 minutes away from the next milestone of P plus 40, and we hope to reacquire some signals there. And Gus, I hear that our rapid turnaround on photography is still rapidly turning around, and we actually have a metal print already of flight for Ripple at spaceflight.com. So the team is cranking away here. Even though you guys didn't get a good view, we did get views from other places that we were there. So good stuff.
That's okay. We supported the first review of the Riptop and Sean got from our Danger trailer. We supported that. Like, we got the trailer out there. We got the uplinks all ready to go. The power, like everything. It's all a team effort to get that stuff working. So the metal print exists because we all work together to make it exist. So
That's
the metal print. But.
Yeah, it looks great. I've seen it in the chat room here. I'm sure we'll get it in. There it is.
There it is.
Already available. So that is how it turns around. This is why it's so important to get things like Danger trailers so close to the pad. Because, with the sound being what it was, you couldn't get that from the distance. So you can see the level of detail that came out of that. Really beautiful. So rapid turnaround, I'm sure we've got more in the hopper already. So good feedback from Sean.
Definitely going to be more coming, and that's another trick. Like one of our NSF party tricks is being able to get those shots back before you can access the camera. Like back in my day, you had to go physically to the camera and GPS right out, and then you could look at it. And sometimes that was the next day or hours after launch or whatever. So one of the party tricks that we put a lot of resources into working on is the ability to get those shots off the camera before we can actually get to the camera. So we still have more things coming in from other shots of other cameras that were out there, and we'll share them as soon as they come in.
All right, we'll keep everybody posted on that. And Gus, I am sure you are super busy out there getting everything broken down for submission. So we can let you go. But I know the chat wanted to make sure you were okay. So
we are fine. So we think we heard the landing. The booster soft landing. We were hanging out. We were all trying to be quiet. We were like excited that the launch was still going, but we were also sort of like listening. We were like, oh, be quiet. So our mics recorded. I don't know if our mics actually recorded it, but here on the roof, some long amount of time after everything had happened, we heard a rumble, and we think that what we were hearing, we didn't do the math. But we heard a rumble, and we felt like we might be hearing the booster doing booster things. I guess inaugurating the swing shot out in the Gulf of Mexico. But I don't know. We'll have to see if we actually heard the booster or not. I like that design, by the way. That design's fantastic.
Yeah. And Alex did the math, and I believe you did hear it.
Really?
Yeah. You should have heard it because I did the math, and it should be equivalent to some Merlin engine. You know, one of the vehicles has an approximate amount of engine. It's Falcon heavy. So if you can hear Falcon 20 kilometers out, or 20 miles, at that point, Falcon heavy doesn't really matter if it's 20 miles or 20 kilometers. This is very powerful, and it's very loud. In 20 miles or 20 kilometers, you can still hear it. So if you can hear that, you should be able to hear super heavy this landing burn with 13 volts. It had 12, but it's still it's like 32 engines. It will have been more powerful than if it had been 13. It would have been even more fucking heavy. But yeah.
We were torn going back and forth because we had the stream up on the screens here, but we're crewing the cameras over here, and then we're like, oh, come back and look at the screen. We should turn the microphone. Okay, back to the screen, back to the camera. And there's a cable here, and I had to go around this cable every single time so that I wouldn't use it. That would be an interesting view to see. I'll let you get back to it, though.
SpaceX has external camera views back.
All right.
Nice.
We should be seeing those very shortly. So yeah, we're about 3 minutes. So we
This
are
is actually-
3 minutes out.
Yeah, this is actually one of the cameras that is not on the flap. The ones that we saw on Flight 3 was one that was in the flap. This is in the body of the ship near the nose cone. Actually, it's below the nose cone section. There's like a box with multiple cameras looking in different directions, and there's one looking at the forward flap. This is the forward flap here of the ship. The one on the right-hand side of the ship.
Yeah.
You can imagine.
Okay, this might be me looking for things, but this ship looks stable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Well,
spinning.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I remember last time I had asked both of you if it was barbecuing because it was
Yeah.
spinning last time. This is a much different profile, isn't it?
It's holding, yeah, it's holding attitude. You know what is also holding, I was going to mention this before with Daz, but because I was talking about the cameras and everything that we have in the field, I've been told that our trailer cameras and everything are all good, in good condition after liftoff.
Survive.
So they all survived, and our connections and everything, so hooray!
That trailer lives to see another launch.
That's
Exactly.
right. And there might be a
Personally,
very
I'm a
short
fan.
turnaround this next time, right? It seems to be so far it's been
Yeah.
in good
Oh,
shape.
of the
So
launch pad of the trailer.
So with the booster touching down, I would say the booster has not triggered a mishap so far. Based on my knowledge about mishap investigations, the booster probably did not trigger a mishap so far. And they have a lot of outs on the ship. Oh, well, engine outs. Well, we'll see. But the ship has a lot of outs on mishaps where they don't trigger a mishap. And so,
If you remember the new rules, they
yeah,
had
like,
an agreement with the FAA that if Raptor engines fail on the way down, they don't really count as a mishap if
But-
it's like it's within safety corridors and things like that.
but one failed during out.
that's right.
Is that like I'm pretty sure it's not a mishap yet. I feel relatively relatively okay that this might not be a mishap yet, and the ship is now the interesting part, because if the ship fails normally during re-entry, basically through failure of heat shield, that should not trigger a mishap based on the FAA update. So that just means that's on. They could launch as early as they have the next stack ready, which, I mean, let's be real.
We got plenty of rockets.
Yeah, like 3, 4, 5 weeks from now, you could have a Delta Star Hope. Everybody in the team is ready for another good time of preparing more assets.
Right. That's right. It's going to become a very busy cadence here. And they build these rockets faster than they launch them, so they've got many more ready to go, or close to ready to go. So we're going to bring Jack in a minute, who's out in the field as well. So I think he's going to be audio only for the initial go on. I'm not sure if Jack is with us this year or not, but when he is, he can say hello.
Oh, I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Yes. What was it like out there, Jack?
Can you hear us? The sound is exceptional. I will say that. The sound was really delightful. We had a few isolated little holes in the clouds, so we did get to see it ascend and pitch down range. It was pretty amazing, honestly. But right now is, in a lot of ways, the most exciting part of flight. Starship is about to start re-entering the atmosphere, and the big question is, will it make it? I mean,